Got some pretty good receipts on that. Folks that I've endorsed and also been accountable. If you recall, I also endorsed Bill de Blasio for mayor. I think anyone can say I have to do my job sometimes. Hold accountable. I've had conversations with Maya Wiley and anybody I'm going to endorse. I'm going to do my job. So I've constantly said my job is not actually to work with, work against any mayor. My job is on behalf of the city of New York. So when that means we're working together toward making the city better, I want to be supportive and helpful as much as possible. When they're not, I have to call that out. I just let the judges.
Say
that again?
For work for the mayor as council, that would be other reservations.
Well, I said I don't. There are folks who might be looking for a person, a human being who's perfect. They're not going to find it. So if you're asking me if there's questions I have to ask about all the candidates, yes. And when I did that, I decided that Maya Wiley should be my number one ranked choice for mayor, and I think one ranked.
Can you talk about call for unity, which is a similar thing that Congresswoman has called for unity? Why do you think that's necessary? Do you think that there is a lack of unity? And a second question about what you said about police and public safety and fear mongering. We've seen some polling that shows that a majority of New Yorkers want more police, and that people are still associating public safety with the presence of police. Do you think, I guess I want you to talk to voters directly who are grappling with this question, that they're worried about public safety and that they see more police as the solution and therefore are more likely to support other candidates who are promising to bring that to work?
So the problem with fear-mongering and otherizing is that it works, and it's worked throughout history. We just came off of 4 years because of an otherizing message. And so when we tap into the basest fears and the worst of human nature, it works. And what I'm asking is for leaders to show the courage of not doing it and trying to have a conversation that does not drive that fear, because it lasts longer than the race that you're trying to win. And so the real, you have some folks who are trying to make these false choices. Oh, we need no police. Oh, we need more police. I've been saying time and time again, we are asking the wrong questions and forcing people to give the wrong answer. The question is, what keeps the community safe? And everybody wants to be safe. Everybody wants to be and feel safe. By the way, sometimes those are two different things, but that's another conversation. And so the question is, what keeps people safe? There's an officer who's dead now, because someone came to help with someone who was drunk with a gun. And so what I repeatedly said, you cannot say that law enforcement doesn't have a role to play. But what we have done time and time again is ask our police officers to do the job of all of the agencies that have been properly funded. So everybody would agree that police should not be sent as the first response to mental health crises, except the Department of Health and Mental Hygiene does not have the same access to overtime budget as the NYPD. And so this is a conversation that we have to have. It's harder to have, by the way, when crime is low. So if you go back to 2018, 2019, we were at historic lows, almost unsustainable lows of murders and shootings. Data means nothing to anyone who's a victim of crime. But even then, you hear the people who drive this fear saying the same rhetoric then that they're saying now. So when you look at leaders like police unions, they're not really interested in public safety. They're interested in their membership. And that is what creates most of the tension that's here. Because whenever I have conversations with people who believe they disagree with me, we walk away and agreeing on 95 to 98% of the things. So I am asking leaders to just bring it back a little bit and just have us focus on the right questions. The wrong questions is dangerous for everyone. I went to Newark, New Jersey last week to see what happened there. Last year, they surprised everybody. And what I saw, most different than what we're doing here, is the buy-in from the top. The structural changes that were made around how we look and discuss the public safety. The investments that were made. That's what we need here. And that's what we need on those.
Karen Adams